All right, Titans 30. So we're going to keep talking about waves here. We've just started talking about the electromagnetic spectrum, EMR. We're going to hit a couple of the different bands on that EMR. So the first is radio waves. They have the longest wavelengths in the electromagnetic spectrum. So they can be like these waves can be longer than a football field, or as short as a football. And the source of them is vibrations of electrons within electric circuits. And we're going to talk about the penetrating ability, which is basically like what they can travel through. And so radio waves have a poor penetrating ability. They don't really pass through metal. So like think about the radio in your car. You're gonna need the radio inside of the dashboard. But then you've got an antenna wire and then an antenna outside of the car because it can't pass through the metal of the car itself. Um, we're going to talk about the term ionizing for all of our EMR bands here, and ionizing simply means does it affect the body cells in a negative fashion. And so radio waves do not. They have a low impact on the body cells. They're not harmful. Cell phones, radios, AM radio, FM radio are all examples of radio waves. Also, for magnetic resonance imaging, MRI, the MRI is used to locate tumors in the body. The next type of band I want to talk to you guys about is microwaves. Microwaves are high frequency vibrations of electrons within specialized electric circuits. They have a penetrating ability, which can be harmful to humans because they can affect the water content of our cells. Microwaves can travel through rain, snow, haze, smoke. They are not considered ionizing, so they can't really target the cells of the body, but they can be harmful to humans due to the effect on the water content in the body. We use microwaves to heat our food. We use it in radar, GPS, satellite imaging. The next band is infrared. So infrared means heat, and these are emitted from hot objects. So feeling the heat from a campfire, that's infrared. Infrared cameras are sensing the heat zones on bodies. It can burn human tissue, but it's not ionizing. It's not gonna, genetically modify your cells in any way. We use these in motion detectors, heat seekers, remote control, and other wireless devices. We think that mosquitoes might be able to hone in on people because of their ability to detect infrared. Visible light is the next band. Visible light is only a small little sliver of the spectrum, but it's the only part we can actually see, and it's our entire world. So Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. And within that, blue and purple have the highest frequency with the shortest wavelength, meaning that they aren't going to be seen as far. But red is seen the furthest, but it's not the brightest. Okay, so it comes from the sun, comes from light bulbs. It travels through air as packets of energy called photons. With visible light, we have reflected waves, refracted waves, which are bent waves. And so reflected light is what bounces off an object directly. So it's a perfect reflection. Think of a mirror. Barcodes use the idea of reflection. So reflection is the angle that comes in is the same as the angle that bounces away. Reflected light, then also right, is again, like I said, the exact same angle in as the angle out. So telescopes use these, satellites use these as part of the combination of how it's designed. The next band of light I want to talk to you about is ultraviolet. Very hot objects release UV light. UVA and UVB can penetrate the ozone layer, and UV light is ionizing, so it can kill bacteria by breaking down DNA. It can also break down your skin, so it helps wrinkle you or can cause cancer inside of our skins. So some UVs cause cancer. This is why you shouldn't use tanning beds or expose yourself to sterilizing equipment. The next band is X-rays, and so X-rays produced by fast-moving electrons striking a metal target. Black holes may give off X-rays naturally. They can penetrate the body's tissue, which is why we use them. They're also dangerous, so they are ionizing, which is why you shouldn't have too many X-rays in a year. This is also why they cover the rest of your body with a lead covering if you're at the dentist, for example, because they don't want unnecessary X-rays to target areas that aren't being tested. This is also why the dental hygienist usually leaves the room and you get an X-ray done to you, so they're not exposed to unnecessary rays all day. Gamma rays is another band of the EMR. It's emitted by radioactive materials, so like stars. It can penetrate metal, can cause death. It is very ionizing, and we actually use it to sterilize foods in a process known as irradiation. Medical imaging and diagnosing can use gamma rays as well. And that's going to wrap up our discussion of the EMR bands. So go ahead and open up your data booklet if you're curious as to, again, where those bands fit on that diagram I showed you. But otherwise, thanks, guys.